WEFM.com or call 457-9994. WeFM 99.9, the clean first sound. Bringing you the news 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, with a fresh approach. www.999wefm.com. WeFM News, online, on demand.
Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Vivid by Quartz Optical. Schedule your free eye exam today and get up to 50% off credit purchases. You heard right. Up to 50% off select credit purchases or 25% off cash purchases. What are you waiting for? Buy that frame today with no cash and pay later. Book your appointment online today at quartzoptical.com. Live vivid. See vivid. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Welcome back to WeFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the East Caribbean group of companies, the ECGC, and the Miss SVG pageant have partnered for the ECGC Culinary Cook-Off, which will feature Miss SVG contestants. The 9 contestants have been split up into 3 teams named after ECGC's specialty flowers, teams rye, multigrain, and herb and garlic. ECGC's regional category manager, Sebongole de Riggs, in providing an overview of the cook-off, said the partnership between the ECGC and the Miss SVG pageant is within their efforts to support the development of women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, improving the overall livelihood of children and people across SVG and more. We hear more from Mr. Riggs.
The decision to partner with the Miss SVG pageant are within our efforts to support the further development of women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Furthermore, the collaboration seeks to align with a common goal that positively impacts communities, shows our investment in enabling food security through availability, and improving the overall livelihood of children and people across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The outcome of the cook-off will see ECGC supporting a school or charity of the winner's choice for 6 months. ECGC's regional category manager provided more details on what the Miss SVG contestants' participation in the cook-off entailed.
The participation of the Miss SVG contestants in the ECGC Culinary Cook-Off involved a visit to ECGC, where the ladies had an opportunity to learn more about the products they were going to be using throughout the competition, specifically our Carrigold specialty flour. The ladies had a chance to interact with members of our quality assurance team, Charmin Charles and Peter Trabile, who provided more information about the flour types, uses, and best practices. The contestants also had the opportunity to have a mini tour of our facility and to meet our CEO, Mr. J. Robert Cato, who provided words of encouragement.
That was ECGC's regional category manager, Sebongole de Riggs. The Miss SVG contestants during the competition will utilize the East Caribbean group of companies' range of specialty flours, including the Carrigold rye, multigrain, herb and garlic flours. The first episode of the ECGC Culinary Cook-Off, featuring this year's Miss SVG contestants, debuts tonight, Wednesday, September 20th, on VC3 and YouTube. Non-profit organization Action Beckway has announced the reopening of uninterrupted access for pedestrians all the way from Fort Hamilton to the far end of Lower Bay. This comes following the rebuilding of a key section of the Princess Point headland. According to an official release from Action Beckway, the original offshore section of this trail was badly damaged by subsequent storms, and as a result, a new route adjacent to the cliff was established, which functioned effectively for several years. The organization said in 2022 that rockfalls from part of the cliff led to the need to create distance. That work has now been completed. Action Beckway notes that the number of piers used has been doubled compared with the original offshore structure, and the technique used to secure those piers to the seabed has been significantly improved. The result is a construction which should be several times more robust than the original and one which should provide service for years to come. The work, costing EC $269,956, was paid from Action Beque's own resources without any special appeal. The nonprofit organization, which began in 2011, acknowledging that all their infrastructure efforts are owned by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and effectively the people of Bequia, said it will continue to maintain all of the trails that they have organized the building of. Still on the local scene, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry, and Labor is set to commence stakeholder consultations. According to the ministry, these consultations are a start to the process for the development of plans for three of the sectors, namely agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. A news release states that the consultations with stakeholders across these sectors ensure full participation and inclusion of all stakeholders in the process. Dr. Govind C. Prasad is the consultant contracted by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture (ICA) to develop the plan. The series of consultations will begin with the stakeholders in the fisheries sector on Wednesday, September 20th, 2023, at the fisheries headquarters at 3 p.m., and on Thursday, September 21st, 2023, at the Paget Farm Community Center in Bequia at 1 p.m. On to news in the region. Guyana's Minister of Education Priya Manikchan has issued a warning to the country's schools about hair discrimination. Minister Manikchan warned against sending home students because of their hairstyle, saying that those who do so will face disciplinary proceedings. Children are not to be sent home for any breach or perceived breach of any school's hairstyle rule, and any person doing so will face disciplinary proceedings, Manikchan wrote on her Facebook page. According to Loop News, Guyana's Education Ministry has since issued a statement reminding schools that children should not be sent home because of their hairstyles. The statement follows a report posted on social media indicating that a secondary school student had been sent home because of her hairstyle. The government of Grenada has announced that it plans to observe the 40th anniversary of the death of revolutionary and the country's first Prime Minister, Maurice Bishop. Bishop, who was killed during a palace coup orchestrated by his deputy Bernace Cord on October 19, 1983. Head of the 50th and Independence Anniversary Committee, Dr. Wendy Crawford, told a news conference that the activity will form part of the island's 50th anniversary of political independence that will be launched on October 19th this year. Last October, the government said it was moving ahead with plans to have October 19th declared a public holiday to commemorate the 1983 killings of Bishop and several members of his cabinet that led to the collapse of the left-wing's People's Revolutionary Government, the PRG. On the international scene, India has issued a warning to its citizens on travel to Canada, citing concerns for their safety. This is the latest development in a diplomatic row over Canada's allegations that New Delhi was involved in the killing of a Sikh separatist leader this year. According to Al Jazeera, the fallout prompted tit-for-tat diplomatic expulsions and a forceful denial from India, which said any suggestion it played a role in the June killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar was absurd. Without explicitly referring to the row, India's foreign ministry on Wednesday said it was concerned for the safety of its citizens in Canada because of quote-unquote politically condoned hate crimes and criminal violence. Nijjar was shot dead by two masked assailants outside a Sikh place of worship he presided over in Surrey, an outer suburb of Vancouver in British Columbia province. Finally, in sports, Dallas, Florida, and New York have been named as venues for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in 2024 when USA hosts the event for the first time. The tournament, to be co-hosted by West Indies, will be the biggest in history with 20 teams competing. A 34,000-seat modular stadium will be built at Eisenhower Park in Nassau County, New York, subject to a permit. Existing venues at Grand Prairie, Dallas, and Broward County in Florida will be increased in size. The ICC board awarded the hosting of the event to the West Indies and the USA in November 2021. This has been Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
At Quartz, we value your sleep, so let us help you sleep well with the bedding event of the year at Quartz. Trade in that old mattress for a brand new one. Get 30% off Serta, Restonic, Sleep On It, Silly, or Simmons mattress. When you trade in today, it's easy to take advantage of this offer. First, take a photo or video of your old mattress. Next, go on down to your nearest Quartz store and purchase your new mattress. Then, we will deliver your new mattress. Shop today with no cash and pay later with Quartz Ready Finance. Plus, stay protected for up to 4 years with Super Shield extended warranty. Sleep well, be well, only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Offer ends September 30th, 2023. Special conditions apply.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. You've been listening to WEFM's Midday Newscast. Coming up at 12:30, it's Viewpoint. At 12:45, join us for the obituaries. And then at 12:55, we'll have for you the local weather report.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find